What's up, everybody? It's Kenny Commons here, chilling with Kenny C. And the following podcast interview is scheduled, let's say, in a 30-minute time limit. Let's try that. So, introducing my guest of the evening. He's coming to you from Louisville, Kentucky. Now, be frank, I don't know how much he weigh, but I do know that his bars weighs a ton, going at all competitors, all challengers for many, many years. And by the way, when the clock hits midnight this evening, he is going to give you a wrestling hip hop inspired EP entitled Loser Leaves Town. And trust me when I say this to you, artists, fans, he's pulling no punches on his peers, on anyone that doubts him whatsoever. He is that guy, he's been that guy, and he's always going to be that guy. And like the top of the shirt, man, here's the standard as it pertains to Louisville hip hop or just hip hop in general. He's a top tier MC. So it is truly my pleasure to be joined with the one and only Peter Wesley is joining
Thank
me
you.
right now. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Oh, I am great, man. That was a wonderful introduction.
Well, that definitely came off the top of the head. I had to, we've done these interviews for years now, and I
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
I give you the generic introduction, but I figured, you got this EP out. We've shared the passion of wrestling fandom. I had to give you a lot more enthusiastic introduction.
I,
Um,
I definitely appreciate it.
yeah. So before we get into the EP talking, Loser Leaves Town. It's coming out this Friday, aka midnight, if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to work in the morning. Uh, but regardless of your time going to sleep, it's gonna be there. Even when you get up, go to work, it's gonna be there. When you get home from work, it's gonna be there. But nonetheless, uh, I met Peter Wesley in person for the first time this past December. So there's a weekly Louisville hip hop R&B showcase called the Louisville Vibe, which was found by fellow Louisville hip hop artist Sasha Renee. Shout out to Sasha,
Definitely, definitely.
who is relocated to Texas about a year or two ago. And the showcase has continued to run at Nirvana for many, many years, but recently relocated to a different venue just a few months back. So
Yeah, yeah.
you was the headliner for the last Louisville Vibe of 2021. So I was on my holiday break at the time. I had nothing to do. I said, literally nothing to do. I thought, okay, I'm just enjoy myself, enjoy the holidays, you know, just be me, obviously. And then I found out about a few days prior, you going to be the last headliner of the last show of the year. And I've always wanted to go to a Louisville Vibe. I see Sasha post it every week. It was just a matter of timing, and it was just a matter of who was going to be there. So you was there, and I said to myself, you know what, Kenny, you get all this love from Louisville hip hop, just Louisville music in general. One of these days, you gotta come through. You gotta get out the nice, good old Lexington and make that drive. You gotta go the Bryson Taylor route, mileage, responsibly, of course. I
Definitely,
made
definitely.
my way to Louisville, to Nirvana, which is a nice place. I will
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Um, so I was there. I was there before the DJ was there. So I was just chilling, no pun intended. And then
Definitely.
you came along, cool, calm, and I wonder if it's gonna recognize me or not. Cause it's literally the first time we about to meet each other. And then you did. So we had a nice chat and I was happy to come through. And then I'm the one. See, I was just trying to surprise you. And then I ended up being surprised myself because not only you was there, but a fellow Louisville hip hop artist and another person I have profound respect for, Semi, was there.
Yeah, yeah.
And around that time, you fellas released the main event, a collaboration project, and y'all performed songs there. So
Yeah.
at the end, I got more than I wanted. So I not only I got to meet you, I got to meet Semi as well. So shout out to Semi, a cool dude, talented
Definitely.
MC. So that's definitely one of the proud moments for me of 2021 was getting to meet you. And I appreciate the kind words. The legend. That's too kind. That word gets thrown around a lot, but I appreciate the kind words, sir.
It does get thrown around a lot, but you know, I why not? Everybody else gets called a legend. Let's call the people we appreciate legends as well. You know?
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. So, Loser Leaves Town. It's the name of your EP. You've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
doing you've been doing the singles thing for quite a while. But as far as this particular project, you revealed the track listing as of today. So
yeah.
give us the rundown of how did Loser Leaves Town came to be, and talk about working with Filthy Rich for this particular project.
Yeah, like you said, I had been working on singles. Like the idea of a project wasn't on my mind at the time. Simi came, we're talking about the main event at the same time Filthy Rich came. So I was writing on both of these at the same time. Me and Filthy did one song, and that was the plan. We had started talking like, hey, let's collab on a song. Um, we got together through a guy named Sid Bishop. He was working on doing a internet label, and he wanted us to do a song for it. And so we were doing that, and then Filthy's giving me more beats, and he's like, we can do a whole project. And I was like, well, why not? And so we did. And in my head, I was like, I need a theme for it, and I think I made Hardcore Holly, and I was like, we're running with the wrestling thing. Um, and it was something I had been trying to take a step back from, only because my wife complains. She's like, "Oh, you just talk about wrestling." It's like that's not true. And so I've been making a series of singles where I wasn't, but I was like, "So what if I am? Who cares?" And so I went back to it. I doubled down. I was like, Let's do this." And Loser Leaves Town. I took me a minute to think of like a title, and I made a song called Loser Leaves Town, and I was like, I like that. It gives you that old school wrestling theme, like it's me and you, and like town ain't big enough for the both of us. I like that feel, and it reminds me of rap, like a rap beef. I think rap and wrestling are so similar. People, it's weird that most people are only on one end of the spectrum. Like you're a hardcore rap fan, hardcore wrestling fan, but the people that are both, they love it, and I'm one of those people that just love both, and I see the similarities between the both. So why not put them both together?
Yeah, man. Wrestling and hip hop do go hand in hand as it pertains
Definitely.
to, you say, competitiveness as far as mic skills, presence, presentation, um, and when we grew up as wrestling fans, we kind of used to wrestling and rock. That's was the go-to genre.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s at least, and some country here and there. But we go to the 90s and the 2000s, you notice hip hop starting to get involved. I mean, you go back to Master P. He was in WCW Monday Nitro. You go to
Yes.
so many names of artists was on Raw, SmackDown, all these pay-per-views, and wrestling has really embraced hip hop, but definitely since the 90s, now in the 2000s, 2010s,
You you
2020s.
remember that
Yeah.
WWF aggression?
Yes, I got that
Uh,
album. I got that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Redman, Snoop, um, Met
Method
Met
Man.
Method Man did his thing on that rock remix. Did a
Oh
music
man.
video. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So
The
man,
Run DMC DX theme.
that's classic. That's
Definitely.
classic. And they did
Yes.
a man. Stephanie doing her thing in the video, her little
Oh
DX
man.
chops. I'm like, man, Stephanie got the rhythm. I'll give her that. But that's just wrestling and hip hop, man. It's good that as a lifelong wrestling fan myself, seeing that, because representation as a thing, and
Yes.
wrestlers do listen to hip hop to a degree, and they have it evolve in their repertoire per se. And it ain't just black people; it's just different
Oh
colors,
yeah. Oh,
backgrounds.
different kind. Yeah.
Yeah, so John Cena did a rap album when he was at his peak,
Wasn't
and
bad either.
and Cena had bars, man. He's always been nice. He's
Yeah.
punchlines and all, and it's a certified platinum album too. That's the thing. Most
I had it. I had it in high school. I used to
yeah,
listen to it.
I had it. I still do. Um, I listen to Spotify every now and then. I'm kind of surprised that he only did one, but I guess once he released the album, he kind of
He took off.
distant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
He took
took
off.
off and went become a household name. So hip hop definitely helped make John Cena the global star that he is today.
That's very unspoken of. Like they don't. We don't get that enough. Like I know people say like he did the freestyles in the ring, but it was more. It was the jerseys. He had the
Yes.
pumps. He had the album. He had the chain game. Like
Yeah,
we all
man.
talk about the Sin Nation. He had the chain game. Like it was a
Yes.
whole different animal. Like SmackDown era John Cena does not get
Yes.
enough props. Like it does not.
Yeah, man. The jerseys, like every he didn't wear the same jersey. He wore
No,
every different
no.
every single week. Like, man, John, like he really embraced the culture like that. So
Yeah.
so as far as hip hop, man, like it's synonymous for sure. So Loser Leaves Town coming out midnight tonight. Um, you was talking this on Bob Harley, so let's talk about that track. That's the opening track, I believe. Um,
Yes.
and for the young wrestling fans that might not be familiar with that name, it's a dude who is known for his hardcore tenacity, one of the toughest dudes that ever stepped foot in the ring. Talk
Yes.
about that song with his name on it, man. Talk about that particular track.
Man, and not to let anyone down, it doesn't talk too much about him at all, but it captures that energy. Like,
Yeah.
and I think I see myself in a similar position, as a, a rapper that's, feeling like he could, brawl with the best of them, but may not be, currently at that, that main event, that mainstream position yet, but definitely can do it. And I feel the same way about Hardcore Holly. He definitely was good enough. He definitely was tough enough. He definitely was cool enough. Um, and the track itself is one, no hooks, 2.5 minutes of just straight bars. It is like one lyrical hardcore match. That is and I think that's the type of stuff that with the wrestling references. I think that's the kind of song people have been wanting to hear from me for a while, and so I'm glad I was able to do it.
Yeah, man. And look, I love the being the hip hop head that I am. I'm always off when an artist can can add wrestling into the music, references, punchlines, and analogies per se. So you definitely represent for the wrestling slash hip hop full. And seeing wrestlers, not just Cena, just getting into it, man. Guys like Swerve Strickland, Chris Bay of
Yeah,
Impact
yeah.
Wrestling, and Max Caster of AEW. You definitely
Leo
see
Rush.
Leo Rush, just a, a new generation of wrestling hip hop artists that's just thriving.
Have you seen much of Myron Reed?
Yes, yes,
He's from me. Yeah, he's from here, and he raps as well.
yeah.
Super talented guy.
I seen him wrestle in Georgetown like early in his career. Dude was ridiculously talented.
Yes,
So
yes.
he's definitely gonna be one of the next Kentucky
Oh,
wrestlers that's gonna.
I definitely see him blowing up. I
Yeah,
definitely see him somewhere. Impact AEW WWE. I definitely see it in the near future. I definitely he's got it, and it's something special, and he's got a following.
yeah,
So I
yes,
love to see him and Alex Zane somewhere a big show, just tearing the
yes.
house down. I love it.
Shout out to Alex Zane, man. First and foremost, the man is in Japan right
Yes,
now. As
yes.
far as New Japan, they got a tournament going on. A dude from Lexington, Kentucky, is in
Hmm.
Japan. So that's a testament of his hard work. I seen him as a hip hop artist open for Tech Nine in Lexington. That was way before I even knew that he went on to become a wrestler. And then I met him at Lexington, put on a show with Facade, a name that you may know from OVW,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah, yeah.
So they tore the house down that night. So getting to meet him. Um, so props to Alex, man. I'm
A
keeping
random
up.
fact.
Yeah.
He and back when I was younger, me and my friends had a home backyard wrestling promotion, and a young Alex Zane made a few trips down there.
Mm, yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That's how I got to know him, was through them. Yeah, so
yeah.
that was, and he was, it seemed like he had, at that point he had a bigger rap following than wrestling at the time.
Yeah, yeah. I've known him through another artist named Shadow Clone, who's kind of known for the cosplaying and hip hop. He's a combination of both. So props to the whole
Two great
Shadow
worlds to
Clone.
put together.
Yeah, so look, I love cosplaying. I love going to the conventions, seeing the outfits, the
Oh yes.
dresses. Just it's just nerds can just in that zone. It's in that zone, just embrace whatnot.
Since
Um,
you're in both cultures and you go to the cons,
yeah,
um, you may be able to answer this question.
okay.
Has nerd culture became mainstream? Like is it become like is it feel like when you go to the cons, do you see like people that's like, oh, they're not really, they're posers? Like, do you see it like,
Yeah,
or
I definitely believe nerd culture is definitely being a thing, and it's getting there.
yeah?
Especially if you go to Comic Con in San Diego, that's the biggest
Oh
convention
man,
of them all. So that's
it's on the list.
that's
It's on
like
the
the
list for
rest.
me.
That's like the WrestleMania of
Yeah.
all Comic Cons. Like everybody is there. All the previews, everything. Everybody is glued to San Diego, California at that time of year. So yeah, nerds, culture, yes, it's there. And you're seeing other conventions trying to model at the Comic Con. At least they try to. I'm happy that Lexington got a Comic Con. I've been to Galaxy Con in Louisville before they stopped using it.
I think
So
it's
yeah,
weird that we now have a world where there's like a porn themed con, and it's just like, have we gotten there yet? Like, I guess we have, but I'm just taken aback by it, you know.
yeah, yeah. That's just a variety of cons for people's preference.
I could have used a better example, but
But hey,
that's the
man,
one
you
that
know,
got me.
whatever people preference out there, man. It's 2022. That's a lot going
Yes,
on, bro.
yes, yes,
Do what makes you happy. Don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
what
All the
intrigues
cons.
you. So you in social media are known for your wrestling shirt collection. I
Yeah.
knew you was gonna have a shirt. I didn't know exactly whom. I got me a throwback Adam Cole Ring of Honor shirt.
Man,
I wore this when I met him at Lexington Comic Con. When I got the picture with him, it blew his mind because he hasn't seen a Ring of Honor Adam Cole shirt forever. So I saved this. I bought this when he first won the Ring of Honor World title, when his career really started to took off.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so, and here you are with the Sasha Banks, the standard, the
yeah,
blueprint.
yeah.
So,
Had to stand in solidarity,
yeah, stand in solidarity. Yes. So,
Yes.
with that being said, man, let's discuss this. So,
Okay.
Sasha and Naomi, it's mostly Sasha because I honestly I don't really know how Naomi feel about this, but I feel like this was more of Sasha and how the turn of events that led to them walking off per se. So she was supposed to have a match with Charlotte at WrestleMania. I said,
Yeah.
okay, they faced each other a lot, but they never faced each other at WrestleMania. And they
And
did
it would
had,
have been a classic, man. That would have been a
yeah,
banger.
yeah, and they have had some classics throughout the years, the main events, they've done all this. I'm cool with that. Those two, they always click. I feel like out of all the four horsewomen, as far as the feuds, those two, you could say Sasha and Bailey, but Sasha and Charlotte's right there as far as the four horsewomen pertains to rivalries. But then Wanda Rousey comes in, fresh off of motherhood, and she is in the Royal Rumble. She wins the Royal Rumble and ends up facing Charlotte. Now, I was hoping for her and Becky because they were supposed to face each other at Survivor Series years ago. But then Nia
Yeah.
Jax punched her in the nose, made her bleed, put her on the sidelines. Now, Nia has a history of hurting people. I'm just gonna put that out there. And yes, it helped Becky got over, but she
Definitely.
didn't get the work. As a result, like we was looking forward to Becky and Wanda because they was a legit animosity. So I was hoping if you're gonna bring Wanda back, at least have her face Becky. That's just me. But
Same here.
you
It made
took
all the sense in the world.
you have her face Charlotte instead. Now they had a nice match at Survivor Series, with all things considered, but
Mm.
that's Sasha Banks. Like that's one of your top talent, obviously, and shot Ronda Rousey comes back, and you took her spot literally. So that was the first one, and then when they won, and granted, her and Naomi won the tag team titles. Okay,
Love
good.
that too, by the way.
I'm no issue with that. Um, I guess that was like a consolation. But then after that, they just have the booking. That was a bowling point for Sasha. So and the six pack challenge, and just they wanted the woman tag team titles to mean something. They had their own merchandise, Boston Glow. They literally had everything planned out. And then the powers that be, aka Vince, was like, no, we're doing this. And due to creative differences, that's what the report reads, enough's enough. So Sasha and Naomi took the titles and walked off. Um, what's your thoughts on everything leading to Sasha and Naomi, and where do you think we go from here as it pertains to their future in WWE?
Um, I'm mixed about it. Before I even get to that, first off, at the end of the day, I'm on Naomi and Sasha side. That's first off.
Yeah.
But regardless of what went down, I'm sticking with them. But you talk about, I can tell they really wanted to make the women's tag team championship a serious deal. Now from what I heard, rumor was that Naomi May was supposed to win the 6-pack challenge, going to face Bianca and then lose, and then Sasha maybe facing Ronda and lose, and then it'd be like a 2-month period with nothing to do with the tag team championships. And then they tried to work something out. They tried to meet them in the middle, and they said, well, if Bianca has a match, this is all rumor. If Bianca has a match, maybe Dewdrop, and who is she with in that? Dewdrop and somebody.
Nikki?
Maybe Nikki. Yes, it was Nikki. Dewdrop and Nikki. I think there was an idea of that floating around, of them jumping in the match and causing a disqualification on Bianca's behalf, which would lead to a tag team title match. But I think that idea was nixed, and I guess back and forth over and over. And the rumor says, like, I think they were told they were being brats about it, and then that's when they finally turned in the belts and walked off. There's a part of me, and I don't know if it's more just because I want it to be, or if I believe, but there's part of me that believes that there's still a chance that this may all be storyline, and I think it's really just because I wanted to, but also because the fact that it keeps getting mentioned on TV. Tony Storm left, and first of all, it was Tony Storm got on a plane, flew home. It didn't say anything to anybody, and she was just never mentioned again. Sasha Naomi has been bashed the day of the incident, the SmackDown afterwards, and then I believe also again on this Monday's Raw, and then there was a Instagram post, a tweet. Like, it's been a lot of things. Even the video of SmackDown, like they recorded that and uploaded that to Twitter and Facebook. It's like, I've never seen a situation like this get that type of attention. I mean, yes, Stone Cold, when he walked out, that did. They did the interview, but CM Punk was ignored. Tony Storm was ignored. When Neville left, that was ignored. All these situations, these people left, and they were, whatever happened afterwards was handled off screen. This is constantly being talked about in a weird way, where they keep bashing him and saying, sorry, they let you down. They let me down. And then, like, the original statement was stating, it was saying that they claimed that they had fears of, or safety concerns with the people they were wrestling, but they wrestled everyone in that match. And it almost seemed like they just made up something. So either this is all, a work, or WWE's being just super petty about the situation in a way that they've never have before. It's one or the other.
So,
and regardless, and either, like I said, either way, I'm Team Naomi and Sasha.
So my thing on this is that, this is not scripted. I mean, this is legit.
I know most people feel that way.
Yeah, this is the bowling point, as it pertains to.
But in an offense like this, isn't usually your first thing is suspension of 30 days. Like just jump to indefinitely.
No, no.
Um, and that was pretty, like I said, and like I said, if this is all how it is, then they're being super petty in every way of it by making comments, doing the TV, the posts, the indefinitely suspension. All of it is very, and then saying the reasons why they walked out, and even though they weren't the actual reasons, like it's a lot going on that, like even if they are in the wrong, the full story may not be out. It seems like something is being covered up on WWE's part. Because one, like you said, Naomi's never done anything like this,
No.
and Sasha has been rumored to do things like this, but that hasn't even been confirmed to her. Like so she also hasn't really done anything like this. And it looks like the image is being made bad for everyone online and fans in general. And it's like, why trying so hard to make these people look bad? It seems like there may have been something wrong done on WWE's part.
Yeah, it's definitely petty on their
Definitely.
part. They've mishandled everything about this whole situation. And keep in mind, Sasha, Naomi on the SmackDown side.
Yeah.
Charlotte has been taking time off since WrestleMania Backlash. So and now you lose Sasha and Naomi. Those your three top talent on that SmackDown Women's division.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you with Wanda is your champion right now. With Carol Rodriguez, formerly of NXT, I like her. She's got some promise in the future, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Aaliyah, Natalia, Shayna Baszler. Let's just keep it 100. That division, as of right now, doesn't hold a candle to Monday Night Raw with Becky, with Asuka, and just Doudrop, Nikki, Rhea. She's doing great with the Judgment Day.
Live.
Yeah, Liv. It's like the Raw side is just kicking it all. It's that division is kicking in all cylinders. SmackDown
Yeah. Yeah.
side, you relying on Wanda Rousey as your champion. And I have no disrespect towards Wanda. She's great in the octagon. She's had success in WWE. But my biggest criticism with Wanda is when she's on the microphone, when she's talking, she just it just doesn't sting with me. It doesn't. It's not. She's not. She needs a manager bad. She needs a Paul Heyman,
She's
literally. Uh,
she worked perfectly as as a Heyman, and Heyman really isn't needed for the bloodline. And there's people that definitely could use them, and Ronda's a perfect example.
yes.
She's you know her and Shayna would be perfect as Heyman girls.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I think Roman talks on his own. Um, I thought things were good when they finally kicked him out and then they threw him back in. I was like, oh, I think they can do more use for him because neither Brock or Roman need him anymore. But
Yeah.
I guess that
Roman.
shirt's still selling.
Yeah. And I got that shirt. I
Oh
got
man,
that shirt.
I need it. I'm gonna get it. I just haven't got it yet. I definitely need to get the shirt.
So
But yeah,
that's just classic mafia type
yeah,
feels.
yeah,
So Roman is just on a whole nother level. Just how he's evolved character wise, and people are now engaged to him. It's no longer just loud bulls. Like when he says acknowledge me, people lose their minds.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's so Roman, he's the bloodline. They literally got 6
Oh,
championships collectively as
yes.
of last week. So I'm curious to see what happens. Maybe Riddle, dare I say, challenge Roman.
It looks
Um,
like it.
yeah, or Randy's going to probably come back in time for SummerSlam. At least that's
Yeah.
just my reach on that. So You got the EP out, Loser Leaves Town. And
Yeah,
then you got AEW Double or Nothing this Sunday. Punk
yeah, you do.
versus Hangman for the world title. You got Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe in the Owen Men's Finals. And I think Britt Baker faced the winner of Ruby Soho, Chris Statlander. That's at Rampage tomorrow. So it's a nice card for Double or Nothing. 3 years
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
AEW. So Jay Cargill going up against Anna Jay, Hardy's, Young Bucks, and just other guys, Danielson, Moxley, Jericho, so many guys on there. Is there a particular match on that card that got your attention as far as, you know?
Um, I want to see Adam and Joe tear it down. I'm interested to see where the CM Punk thing goes. You know, and I just feel like the buildup hasn't been the best for that. Especially when you got a guy like Punk who 90% of the time just kills it on promos,
Yeah.
or maybe even 99. You know, it's an interesting story way it's set up, but I just felt like it could have been more. And I'm not blaming anyone for it. Um, you know, I just feel like, man, it could have been, you know, some more done. Um, and I know people have been having some negative remarks about Hangman's reign. And as much as I love CM Punk, I really, you know, the way this is going, I really want to see Heyman, you know, continue. I mean, Hangman continue because Adam, you know, his reign hasn't been much, and I'd hate to see it, you know, him lose his push over something like. I feel like he's still, you know, this is an opportunity for him to prove himself that you know that he deserves to be in the spot, and so I want to see that. As much as I love Punk, I want to see Adam prove that he belongs where he's at.
I like Heyman. I like the grind that he had to go through just to win
Yeah,
that title. Um, I feel like he should have won that title at All Out a couple years
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
It's not a knock on Jericho. He's great within his own right, but that's just how I felt. Like you got this brand new company, you got this talent, you got your four pillars, and Hangman is just he's ready. He's been ready. You talk about listening to the fans, giving the people what they want. But best things tend to happen late in people's careers, and
That is true. Very
so
true.
I like Kofi Kingston. So from Hangman Adam Page, I like him, man, but it's just the emotional in me saying, Punk may not get another chance to be that
Mm.
champion. He's getting there with age. He's got white beard, literally.
Yeah, yeah, he
So
is getting up there in age.
I'm emotionally torn in this match. Like on one end, I do want to see Hangman at least have that big storyline, have that big defining moment before he drops the belt. It might be with Punk. It might be that match. Who knows?
Maybe, you know,
Um,
one way this could go, that actually would be great. Now I'm thinking about it. You know, if Punk wins and then goes heel, and then Adam goes on a chase for it, and we get to see, the more of like the evil CM Punk from Ring of Honor when he was champ.
Someone
Um,
Punk, I'm all with that.
yeah, that if we are here in summer. You know, we could see a storyline of Punk, you know, threatening to leave and take the belt to WWE or something, and Hangman trying to defend. I mean, that just this seems like it writes itself. I would love that.
All right, man. We're getting ready to wrap it up here. But thank you so
Okay,
much for
okay,
your time, man. Appreciate you. Loser Leaves
anytime.
Town out at midnight tonight. Go listen to
Yes,
it.
go listen to that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be something special. Something
All right.
special.
You have a good night, man.
You too.
I mean, all right. Peace.